Hey everybody, Kevin Barnett here with Supercross Live and Jim Holley. Practice just finishing up for the Amateur All-Stars. Jim, your thoughts so far on practice?
Well, I thought the track is really good. It flows. Talked to a lot of the riders and they said, man, I'm having a lot of fun out there, but three guys that are not having fun out there, Michael Essie, Josh Hansen, and Kyle Cunningham, when they go back into that stadium, that sand section is just so fast, and you got that tight left-hander right after. A couple of those guys went down. I think they're all okay. They're shaking up a bit, but Kyle Cunningham probably had the worst grass of them all. His bike flew over the berm, but talked to his mechanic over there, talked to Doug Sapinski, the team manager, and they said, yeah, he should be all right. You know, if he gets cleared from the Asterix Mobile Medical Unit, he'll be on the start line for that heat race.
That's certainly the area to watch, is the end of those sand whoops. The officials coming over and taking a look at that at the end of those crashes, especially Cunningham's. You mentioned how vicious it was. They're looking at some changes there. It looks like they're talking about a hole. Now in the All-Stars, a couple of guys are really going fast out there.
Yeah, Thomas Covington, you know, one of the guys, a couple of these guys are trying to outprove themselves. I mean, this is the next generation that's going to move into supercross racing. And the other thing I like is the super minis. I mean, Adam Cincerello, I mean, this kid is just knocking it out of the park here. And Green was behind him. That was really fast. But, you know, I think it's pretty cool for the Monster Energy and for the fans and everything back behind us here. That section with that big, I mean, that's got to be a 120-foot double. I mean, you're in there, you're in the grass area. They go outside here, as you can see. I mean, this is like an outdoor track out here. I mean, we got stones, it's hard, it's dry. There's a lot of lines where they jump up and over the containers. Those containers are so the fans can get inside and check out some more of that track, and I think that's pretty cool. Anytime you can get the fans right next to the track, as a former rider, you always like that, man. You see them cheering you on and just go for it. And, you know, with $1 million online, what can you say? A lot of things are going to happen tonight.
Yeah, this is a fun spot to be for the fans. Really an opportunity to get a feel for the speed. If you're right next to it, it's even different than sitting up in the stands when you're 10 or 15 feet above the position of the riders. Here you get to see that. You mentioned the Amateur All-Stars and the problems they're having, the double trouble. There's a big double right in the far end of the track, and they're definitely struggling. You saw Thomas Covington sizing it up throughout the practice, then he hit it a couple of times and hit some trouble.
Yeah, the only guy that didn't have trouble was Josh Hill's little brother, Justin. I mean, 154 in that Kawasaki. I mean, he was airing it out every lap, but like you said, Covington kind of struggled. I mean, yeah, we watched him. Each and every lap he came out of that right-hander, he jumped a little further, he's moving his head, he's going, but each and every lap you don't do it, it gets harder. And then he finally did, and he's probably saying to himself, man, that was so easy. I don't know what I was stressing out. And then a couple laps later, he goes and jumps off the side of the track and has a big crash, but he gets up from that. But it's going to be a great night of racing here at Sam Boyd Stadium, and it's just cool that there's $1 million on the line. Those first practices for the big boys, the first time practice, the reigning Supercross champion, well, he won it this year, Ryan Villapoto, turning in a 127.7, if I'm not mistaken, and Dungey was second, about a half second behind him. But they went out the second time practice, and it was Ryan Dungey with a 128.5. He had the fastest lap time that second go around. That just tells me that the track's getting a lot rougher and a lot harder. As this night goes on, those lap times will get down even into the 130s. I mean, that's a long track out here. I mean, think about it. Everyone says, oh, it's only a 10-lap main event. Well, when you're adding almost 130, takes you a minute and 30 seconds to get around here, that's going to be a long 10 laps.
Yeah, we talked a lot about new guys on new bikes. When you talk about Brayton, Alessi, of course, the biggest one, Dungey, on that KTM. He looks fantastic on that KTM. Boy, he has not struggled at all. It doesn't look like he's lost a step. Perfect comfort. When I think about him, I think about getting back to Roger DeCoster, and it must just be the perfect comfort zone for Ryan Dungey.
Well, you got to remember that, you know, everyone thought Roger DeCoster was crazy for signing Ryan Dungey when he was an amateur before, when they were at Suzuki together, and he comes away and he wins a lot of championships for Suzuki, and Roger moves over last year to KTM, and Dungey has the opportunity to go back with his mentor, the guy that picked him out of the amateur ranks, and they're over there. Ian Harris is over there. Carlos is going to be his mechanic over there. You know, Ryan Dungey's in a good spot right now, and I liked the fact that he decided to race, because now it gives him 2 months to try and see where he's at and judge himself, as opposed to going to Anaheim, you know, 2012 and going, well, this is my first race on a KTM. I like him being here.
Also fast, Kevin Windham, and then a guy I think may ruffle little feathers. You have Brock Tickle in there going fast. It's a great event, a lot of fun out here. There's drifting going on, other motorcycle demonstrations. Jim, you and I have had a blast hanging out. It's going to be a great night of racing here from Sam Boyd.